It is October, and that means it's pumpkin season. This is the progress on the pumpkin bracelet. I haven't made too much of it yet, but there's already 3 colors in it. It's coming along nicely. I thought I'd bring you along to a journaling session. I went to a pumpkin patch yesterday with my friends, and we spent a day just walking around and picking pumpkins, and it was so fun. These are my friends from university. We like to do seasonal things together. This is only our 2nd time going pumpkin picking, but that's mostly because of COVID. We like to do Christmas dinners together as well. Every year we get together and one of us hosts. And I think it's just a nice thing to like appreciate the season and do something seasonal like that. I really enjoyed it picking pumpkins. It was so nice to be out in the field. There's a section at the beginning where there's just a bunch of pumpkins on the ground and you can walk around and find one that you like. But I prefer going deeper into the field, and then you can actually walk through the field and pick the pumpkins directly from the vine. And that is so much more entertaining for me. I just really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. We were carrying this massive wheelbarrow as well. It was really heavy to get around, especially once we filled it with pumpkins. It's not the best road system if you're just like going through mud, but we all got pumpkins for ourselves. I got 2. One of them was really big, like an orange one, and then there was another kind of smaller one that was yellow. So I want to try making some food out of that and then also carving those pumpkins. I might be doing that later today, actually. In the meantime, I want to journal about this because that would be a lot of fun. So I thought I'd bring you along to that. So I showed you my journals in my last vlog, but here I want to show you more specifically how this works. So this is my main journal, and I've already drawn in 2 separate pumpkin pieces. I have a little pumpkin stack on the left side here and just a group of pumpkins on the right side. It actually took me a ridiculously long amount of time to draw these because I haven't drawn anything in so long. I forgot how to do it. I used to love to draw as a kid. Can't say I was particularly good, but it was a hobby of mine that I really enjoyed. And I just completely lost all the skills I had. So I had to start from scratch and figure out. This took me a ridiculously long amount of time, yeah. But here we have another one of my journals. This one is from January to March of 2018 that just has a lot of empty pages in the back. So I use these empty pages as practice. So here you see I did a page about quiet and yoga before. I'll show you those later. In one of my significantly old journals, I was doing like a meal prep kind of recipe ideas spread. So there's a lot of meals. I like to test out and how, you know, colors are going to work together. This is the color scheme that I'm going for the pumpkins. This was also my first attempt drawing the pumpkin, then I realized I don't like how that looks. I much prefer this. And here I'm trying to figure out what I want the main color to be for the title and how I want to highlight it. And then I decided that I actually want to go October pumpkins instead of pumpkin picking because I'm also going to be talking about pumpkin carving, and potentially if I end up making a pumpkin pie, which I hope to do, I'll also talk about that. I realized I wasn't showing that to you. Sorry. I have a bad habit of just talking without checking the framing. But here that's how that looked like. I also, whenever I'm doing anything, I just kind of leave the bracelet that I'm doing underneath and do whatever I need to do on top. I have like a towel that I just drape over it whenever I'm doing something that I don't want to mess it up, you know? So I'm also thinking I want to paste some pictures in here. I have a draft area here where I think a 2" by 3" picture will go. But once I print it, I'll actually figure out if that's where I want it to be. A lot of these things are trial and error. One thing that I'm thinking about now is that I want the word October to be on this side, but pumpkins to be on this side. But the thing is, pumpkins is a longer word. The word October is going to take around 7.5 centimeters. The word pumpkins is going to take around 9. Is that going to become unbalanced? Is that going to look good? I don't know, but I also don't really have any other options because they're definitely not going to fit on one. And not that I even want them on one. This is a full spread together, so I kind of have to split it. So I guess I just go for it. I think too much. That might be my problem. Let's just go for it. I am very pleased with how this page turned out. I was actually so scared to color in the pumpkins. It's always so intimidating once you've drawn something out in pencil and you like it to then have to color it in. But I'm very happy with how this turned out. This green one is a little bit streaky, and that's both to do with how I colored it in. I think also my markers are a little bit old, but I'm really happy with it regardless. We've got the little text on the top. I am thinking of maybe doing a drop shadow on that, but also I'm thinking of leaving it as is, and if I like it as is, I'll just leave it like that. I really want to print a photo from my time picking the pumpkins and paste it somewhere on this side, and then from when I'm going to be carving the pumpkin, I'll have a photo somewhere on this side. So let's print that picture. So this is the photo that I want to print today. It's from yesterday when I was pumpkin picking, and I think it will go great on my page here. So let's print it. My picture is here. There we go. That's me standing on a field holding my pumpkin. So glad I got this printer. So the question now is, where on the page will this picture go? I originally marked out a space for it here to go right under the text. I don't know if that's the best spot for it, to be honest. It definitely has to be on the left side, because on the right side I'm going to have a similar picture of me carving the pumpkin. And I think it has to be somewhere at the top, just because if I put it at the bottom, there's already a lot of stuff going on at the bottom. Now I'm thinking maybe on the left side? I don't know. Maybe this is the best spot for it. I'll have a think about that. Please excuse the audio quality. You are now in my kitchen. Here are my 2 pumpkins. I have already gutted them. They're empty inside. I'm trying to make a pumpkin pie. We've actually got the crust over there. It's cooling at the moment. I don't know how successful I'll be. Not only have I never made a pumpkin pie, I've never even eaten a pumpkin pie. So I don't know what it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to taste like, but we're trying. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for the crust and also the filling to cool down, I thought I would actually start drawing the designs on these and carving them potentially. I want to do a little ghost on this one. Found a design on Pinterest, and so I think we could try on this one. It's also quite small. I don't know how. I think I'm just gonna go in with the Sharpie. That's not too bad. I'm actually thrilled that I remembered not to draw over that line, because I need to actually leave that as part of the pumpkin, whereas the rest of it I'm going to cut away. This is going to be so hard to carve because this is tiny, but I think it looks really cute. And then for this one I want to do something more traditional, like kind of a jack-o'-lantern style. This is what I'm going to go for, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think this is the best side, because this side is a little ugly, just with scratches. So I think this is the best side to carve. He has a very crooked smile, but I think it's good. I don't know why I decided to make it harder for myself and actually do circles, but I'm gonna go with it. Time to cut this thing. This one definitely needs a little cleaning up, but honestly, so does this one. So I'm gonna go clean these up and put some lights in them. The pumpkins are carved, the pie is ready, and I am ready to get back to journaling. I want to print another picture, and this time I want it to be of the carved pumpkins that I did. I took a bunch of pictures with the lights off and then the candles inside the pumpkins, but I don't think that this printer is going to be able to represent black very well. It doesn't do well with dark colors, so I think I'm actually just going to paste a picture of the pumpkins, just carved without actually being lit. Let's print it. That's extremely satisfying. Now I have 2 pictures to paste in. Oh, I love that. All right, I'm ready to journal. And this is how the final page turned out. I really love how it turned out. I had such a blast filling this in, and I really love how it all came together. It's been about a week and a half since I last filmed a clip for this vlog, and since then I went to visit my sister in the Czech Republic, and while I was there over the weekend we went on this amazing hike. It was me, my sister, her husband, and her daughter, my niece, was traveling in this like really cute kid backpack. She's 1.5 years old, and it was the most adorable thing. I found the hike to be very challenging. I'm not a very active person, and I'm not very athletic, and I am very unfit at the moment, which I am working to change. But the hike was really difficult for me. It took about 4 hours both ways. It wasn't that high of an elevation, but it was high enough that I really struggled with it. But nonetheless, I very much enjoyed it. Hikes are not my typical choice for leisure activities, but I'm in a place now where I'm trying to actively move more and travel more and see more and do more and just like actively live life. So this fit in perfectly with all of those things that I'm really trying to focus on lately. And I found myself really enjoying it, surprisingly. The views were absolutely gorgeous. It was so worth it, and I really enjoyed that time. And once I got back, I also did a journal page about that. I did a journal page highlighting the hike. I have my Apple Watch stats in the corner over there, and I did a little drawing of one of the signposts that they had. This page was also really fun for me to do. And after that, I also did a page about training that I've been doing. I started seeing a personal trainer. This is a picture of the little gym that I go to, and I even did a little cutout of myself after I took a picture after one of the workouts. I wanted to record all the things that I've been doing in these training sessions just to look back on later on once I hopefully get a little stronger and I look back on this and see where it all started. But I've been really enjoying the training sessions. I had a really negative experience when I was really young where a personal trainer pushed me so hard that I threw up in front of him despite me telling him throughout the entire session that I'm not feeling well and I think I'm being pushed too hard. I was literally 16. He didn't hear any of my concerns. I thought I was going to pass out as well. So I was very nervous to try another training session, but I thought I'd go for it, try it out. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. This personal training session is also one that happens within a group. So it's 2 to 6 people within one single session, which definitely brings down the cost of these training sessions while giving you all the same benefits with a personal workout regime and also someone to talk to and correct your form. And also they don't stand over you while you're doing the exercises, which I really appreciate. I've been really enjoying it, so much so that I've been going before work, which I don't know how that happened to me, but here we are. But yeah, I've really been enjoying my journal. There are so many cool pages now already. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm so glad I started this and that I'm back with this wonderful hobby. So back to bracelets. Today is a filming day for me. I just had my nails done, which means that it's time to film some tutorials. I think I'm gonna do this bracelet today. One of you guys also commented on my previous vlog that this is a good bracelet to try out for a tutorial, so I think I'm gonna try this one as well. And potentially this one, maybe if I get round to it, depending on how much time the other two take. So let's get started. Here are the 2 tutorial bracelets that I started. I just filmed the tutorial portions of them. I need to actually finish these now so I can film the intro and the outro. I made a mistake with this one, which was incredibly annoying. I only realized about an hour into filming, because I was also filming how to make the loop for it because the colors are separate. It's just very annoying to deal with. It's actually not that bad. I'm gonna be able to salvage and re-edit the footage with some cleverly placed voiceovers, but it was annoying to deal with. I'm hoping the bracelets turn out looking nice. I'm thinking of actually maybe making a couple of more bracelets with this pattern. I'm gonna try making one, see if I find it enjoyable, because I'm not really a fan of particularly repetitive patterns, so I might actually find this very annoying to make. But if I find it alright, and if I can, you know, choose some cool looking gradients, I might make a couple more just for more interesting thumbnail. I like making bracelet collections like that. I also realized that I completely forgot to show you the pumpkin bracelet, which is now completed. A Not With Me of this has already been posted, so you can watch the full thing being created as a time lapse. I think it's a really cool bracelet. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I also never told you what happened with the pumpkin pie. I did end up making it, and I ended up hating it. Turns out I'm not a fan of pumpkin pie. Thomas said that it tasted fine, and that it did actually taste and look like a pumpkin pie should. So it wasn't anything to do with how I baked it, it's just I don't like the texture of the pie, like the jiggly bit in the center. The taste was fine. It was purely the texture. I didn't like the texture. Anyway, I'm gonna go start making these bracelets now. I also want to potentially make that other one that I showed you, but I'm gonna start with these first. I want to make sure that these are done before I start anything new. Hello again. It's been a while, as you can tell from my nails. I actually just got these done today as well, so you got 2 new manicures within a single vlog. I've been in a bit of a bracelet slump, actually, and a reading slump, surprisingly. Usually when I'm in a bracelet slump, I turn to reading, and usually when I'm in a reading slump, I turn to bracelets. Those are my 2 kind of main hobbies, but I've been in a slump with both of them lately, and I've actually been journaling instead of that. I've been journaling pretty much daily. I've created a bunch of new spreads and lots of other stuff, but I'll leave all of that till the next vlog. I did manage to get these 2 finished though. I actually really like how these turned out, and I do think I want to create a second one for this, just because I think it's a really cool bracelet, and I actually didn't hate making this. I mentioned that I might dislike the repetitiveness of it, but I actually didn't at all, so I feel quite comfortable making another one. I posted on my Instagram story recently and asked if you guys were in a slump as well, and something like 87% of you said that you were, which is kind of depressing, to be honest. But it also makes sense. Winter isn't really a time that people make bracelets very much. Winter is kind of the off season for a lot of people. And I guess that this year I also fell into that category. I hope you guys have other hobbies and other things that you enjoy doing that you can turn to in times that bracelet making just maybe doesn't quite hit the right spot. Thankfully, I have things like that, so I'm quite grateful. I've also gotten back into reading nowadays, and I think that I'm ready to make bracelets again. So things are looking up. Anyway, these 2 tutorials will be out very soon. I think I'm going to start with this one just because I want to make a second bracelet for this, as I said. So it'll be a while before I finish that. But this tutorial should be the next video that comes out. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog. This video kind of encapsulates a month and a half of my life, I think. I mean, I kind of skipped the past several weeks, but still, I started filming this in the beginning of October, and it is now December 2nd, so here we are. I hope you enjoyed it. Special shout out to my patrons, as always. It is with my Patreon support that I'm able to continue the work that I do on this channel, like these tutorials. If you also want to become a patron and support the work that I do, the link to that is in the description. But in any case, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know how you've been. I like to use these vlogs as little catch-ups. I do read the comments, and I do reply sometimes, so let me know how you've been. I'll see you in my next video though. Bye!